Have you ever wondered how to master chess? Every grandmaster started with their first checkmate, and so can you. Join me and let's dive in on what checkmate, and stalemate are all about. Strategic, tactical, calculated. This is 1e4 mate. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to 1e4 Mate. Today we're going to be covering the very first video in the series, How to Play Chess. I've made a few moves here already, so we're just got to click through them. I'll explain them briefly and just go through some terminology and how to play a game of chess. So white starts off with e4, black responds with e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight b3, knight f6. So to this point, we've got some very standard stuff. This isn't a real game that anybody's played. These are just random moves that I just threw together to show you how a game might go. So we see captures, pawns capture like that. We bring the knight in, the queen comes down. So this is the first thing that we're gonna go over is this is called a check. So the bishop is attacking the king right now. The king cannot be captured. So the king is what the whole game centers around. So if the king is under attack, you're in what's called check. So right now, white has black in check. The only way to evade a check is if you move the king out of check, capture the piece that put the king in check. If white now puts black in check, I can block. I'll block with the bishop. So now the bishop no longer sees the king, it can only see up to here. So now that we've covered check, next we move into checkmate. So check is when the king is under attack but can move away. So for instance, when the bishop was here or even back here, we could block or move away. Or when the bishop was here, we could capture. So check is when a piece can still be captured, the king still has squares to move to, or the check can be blocked. Checkmate is the ultimate goal of the game. Checkmate is when the king is in check and none of that stuff can happen. So right here, I've moved forward a few moves to a position that is, you see right here, it says mate in one. That means there's checkmate in one move. So anytime you can get the queen directly in front of the king and it's defended with something, that way the king can't take, then it will be checkmate. So here we have checkmate, where the king can't go here or here, obviously, because its own pieces are in the way. It can't go here, it can't capture the queen, and it can't go over here because the knight is blocking. So in this position, we have checkmate. There's all different kinds of ways you can checkmate the king, but that is the ultimate goal of the game, checkmate. Now moving on to stalemate. So here we have the king and the pawn. The pawn can't move anymore. So the only legal moves are with the king. So the king goes back. And let's see, because of this pawn, it can't go here or here. And when the king moves here, it can't go here or here. The pawn can't move. So there are no legal moves. And the king is not in check, which means stalemate. So it's essentially a tie. You saw the eval bar here goes because there are no more legal moves. It is black's turn. And black has no legal moves. So that's a very brief rundown of how to play chess, the goal of the game, and potential outcomes. Hope you learned something out of it, especially if you're brand new to chess and you want to learn this is the kind of content you're looking for. The next video in the series, How to Play Chess, will be top 10 tactics and terms that we use in chess. So be on the lookout for that one. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it and you want to stick around for more content like this throughout the future, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video.